Tech Tuesday. My name is Tom Levine. I'm Cornerstone's technical specialist, and today we're actually going to be covering something very interesting, which is the AGB Broker Suitcase. AGB Broker Suitcase is our proprietary software that, well, not proprietary, but we use it to give brokers access to their commission information, as well as securely share files and provide you some updates and important info. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Before we actually log into the site and get into some more of the in-depth ins and outs of the guide, I would say that you need to understand there is a difference between AGB and our new resource center. We've actually received a lot of emails asking for like clarification on what it is, or hey, I can't log into AGB, what's the problem? And it's because they're trying to get to the resource center. We used to be able to log into AGB from our website here at Cornerstone. You just clicked a link and it directed you straight to the login page, but that has since changed. The Resource Center, and I'm gonna go here to log in, actually accesses a few different things. It accesses marketing information, it accesses exclusive things to you as a Cornerstone broker, but it does not give you access to commission statements or any of the other information that we're going to cover here today, and the login is completely separate. So if you have credentials for AGB, this is not where you log in, but this is going to be a great resource for you as a Cornerstone broker. If you have not signed up, please just follow this link. It's crnstone.com/join us if you're interested in contracting, or you can click here to register. In order to get there, just go to our webpage, www.crnstone.com, go to Resource Center, hit login, and then hit register here as a new user. You will be directed to a user registration page, and this is also different from the AGB registration page. Like I said before, if you're interested in signing up with AGB, you can do that by sending a direct email to agbsupport@crnstone.com, and we'll take a look and see what we can do to get you access. But in order to actually get to AGB, we used to be able to do it through this Cornerstone website. That has since changed. If you go to licensing and commissions on our webpage, www.crnstone.com, and scroll down, you'll see this link here to AGB Broker Suitcase. If you click that, it will actually just send you to the general information page we started on, which is crnstone.com/AGB. Now, there is a brief walkthrough video up here. If you are very unfamiliar with AGB, I'd recommend watching this video, but that is also what we'll cover here today. You can sign up for an AGB account then by clicking on the sign up button here, which is a separate sign up for our than the one for our resource center. And if you want access, you can hit login right here, AGB, your digital broker suitcase. And that just directs you to our landing page, which is where you actually log in. You can also skip all of that, and I'm going to show you how. If you just open up your web browser, any web browser, although we prefer Firefox here. Explorer will work, but it's not recommended. It's kind of out of date. I'd recommend you use either Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome or Firefox. You go to www.agbOhio.com. I'm also going to put that in chat for you. Then you're directed here, which is the AGB login page. This is how any broker can access AGB, and everyone should have their own username and password for their company. There are two different types of accounts, which we're going to get into more later, but if you control the company, you should have access to the parent account is what we call it. But it's really the account that controls all the logins for everyone else in your company. I have an example set up, and I have some example credentials for that, which I'm going to click and input because I have them saved. But if you control the normal operations for your account, you should have access to the master account login. And we're just going to hit login, and we'll access AGB. At this point, I'd also like to mention none of the information here is valid. We have this test login set up just to kind of sample resources and show off the site. So it might look a little different on your end, but really not much. This is kind of what your page will look like when you log in to access AGB. And this is your account's homepage. It has some news bulletins on the right here. We have some older ones right now, but we're working on getting more of those updated, as well as some direct links. If you click on this banner ad, I just kind of wish I could highlight and point it out, but bottom left-hand side of your screen, you should see a little URL popping up. That would be kind of, and I'm gonna kind of circle this preemptively, kind of in this general section right in here. So I'm gonna go back to my pointer, and if I hover over that, right by where I circled that box, you should see little URL information. That directs you back to Cornerstone's website, and there are going to be a lot of links throughout here that do that. If I right-click and hit Open Link in New tab, you can see it directs you back to the cash incentive program. And a lot of the ads that you see through AGB or flyer information will do something like that. It'll get you away from AGB. So just something to be aware of. But we have banner ads up here that might rotate. It's a direct link right now to that cash incentive program that I mentioned earlier, though, and registration. Anytime that you're going to click on a link that directs you away from AGB, you should see that little URL pop up in the bottom right. So that is something to be aware of. Aside from that, you also have 3 other hot buttons on your homepage. The first sends you direct to any account updates. And these are notices that you might get from AGB, things like, hey, you've got a password change, or hey, you have a new attachment to view, or things of that nature. If you're going to operate with a lot of clients in AGB and start directing a lot of traffic through it, this is kind of where you'll be able to see the day-to-day changes that'll happen. Then you have a policy renewal section here. In AGB, we set the month that a policy will renew and the month that that will need updated if the policy is renewable. So you're able to view some of your renewals through here as well as any information that gets sent out. I'm not sure if that's going to be 100% enabled. I don't think you can actually renew a policy through AGB, but I think it will let you actually view things that are up for renewal. So that's another useful tool that we offer. And lastly, you see terminations. These are policies that were canceled in AGB recently. And by default, you should be able to see all of those as we terminate them or change when things update. So it's another good way to stay up to date on the information that we have. This bar up here, though, is going to be how you mainly navigate the site. If you hover over my account, you can see that home is listed in green right now on my screen. And that is because we're on the home page. Through my account, you gain access to your commission tools, such as commission payments. This would be information like your commission statements, as well as pending payments and other commission-related items that would be paid to you direct from Cornerstone. We don't actually have any information listed here for payments that are paid to you direct from carriers, and that's because they're coming direct from the carrier. But this is where you go to find out information about your Cornerstone commission payments. This normally would be for individual payments like Molina or Ambetter. Those pay direct through us, so you could find those here. Additionally, you can view your carrier appointments. You can technically request a carrier appointment, although this is not fully functional. We've been working with our site developer to get that email updated, but for right now, please email Sandy Weber directly to get an appointment requested. We should have that working hopefully within the next month or so. We've been working on it for a while, so it's something that should launch soon. You then also have access to settings, user management, and child broker management, which is something we're going to circle back to at the end of the presentation. But for now, let's go ahead and start with commission payments. Commission payments, because this is a sample, there are none viewable, but this is where you'd see all of your actual pending payments from Cornerstone. We have every deposit listed that we've sent you down here, line by line. If you hit view, which will be over on this section up here, you'll be able to actually view the payment detail. It should pop up in a window below the actual payment list. From there, there's an Excel icon on the upper right-hand side and a PDF icon there as well, and you can click that to actually download the statements for your account. Additionally, you can view any pending payments. So these are payments that we've processed that should pay out to you the next time we pay commissions, but have not actually pushed through our system yet and paid to you. You can use that to track what information we have on file and what might be coming up in your next paycheck. This is updated immediately, so as we process it, things will post. It's not finalized either. So you might want to check it like the day before we actually pay out commissions, which happens to be Tuesdays of every other week. This is Tech Tuesday, so next week is when you'd see on Tuesday most of your pending payments listed. You can also use this to just kind of track information and say, okay, well, my commission rep said that this payment will be listing on the next payment from Cornerstone. I don't see it. It's the week of the payment. I might want to follow up. Another useful tool you have is access to your carrier appointments. This is appointment information that is listed for your agency or whoever you're logged in as. If you're the parent account owner, this will be the appointment information for your agency overall. Or if you're an individual and you're not appointed under an agency, this will be your appointment information that we have on file. You can see all of our contact information that we have listed. And if you click on broker appointments, you'll be able to see all of the actual appointments that we have on file for you. As you can see in this sample appointment, the agency sample account is appointed with UHC for Ohio Group. And you'd even be able to see your appointment number listed here, as well as when that appointment was effective and when it expires, and the state, if that's input as well. You can scroll through and show all these records, or you can export them into an Excel list by clicking the Excel icon, a PDF by clicking the Adobe icon, or you can print them out directly to your printer using the printing icon. You can also attach information to these. This is under a broker attachment notes, and you can just highlight attachments down here if there are any, as well as look through your broker note records from this page. As you can see, the password was updated for this account on June of 2022, and that was the last time that I really messed around with the credentials for this. So that's where you can see those sorts of notes. We also have tasks available under here. Tasks are a way that we have to kind of notate what's going on with your account. So if we have a task for an appointment, it might show up here. That will only pop up if we make it available to you. So if you'd like to see some information and you'd like to request it, you can reach out to your broker advisor and they will reach out to us to make sure it's available for you. Additionally, like I said, you could request a carrier appointment. That request is something that we will update, and that email will go to Sandy Weber. Now, last but not least, before we really get into the depths of the rest of these sections, is our account settings. Now, this is actually a pretty neat tab, and it allows you to kind of customize AGB as a whole if you are the parent web user, which is if you control the actual main account for your entity, your agency. You can view the information that we have listed right here. And you can even change your password from this section just by going to My Account, User Information, and hitting Change Password. You can also upload your own company logo. So let's say you got bored with seeing cornerstones and wanted to customize your page. You could hit Upload Logo and upload a logo directly from your computer. It would take over this little corner logo right up here. And lastly, we have some general settings. This is normally just ease of use. You can clear grid filters and reset all records on the pages that you've been accessing. Really, it's only useful if you're getting some weird glitches from the site, and you shouldn't see any. Additionally, though, you can allow a page to automatically scroll to new content. This is something that's natively enabled, and I'd recommend keeping it that way. That's why when you click on a link under commissions, it'll actually scroll you down to the commission statement that you have. Additionally, it'll have active field highlighting, which highlights any field that is active. That's why if we scroll over account, you see settings highlighted. And we also have show menu. This is the menu in the upper right-hand side. This is this information here. You're going to want to leave that checked, but if you want a cleaner navigation experience, you can uncheck that. You can also show record issue lists, but those aren't really that useful. I just wanted to cover all these general settings so you know that they existed. We will circle back to user management and child management at the very end, but for now I wanted to cover some notifications. These are account updates as well as task updates that you might see. We click on the account updates tab. It sends us to notices, and there have been none for this account because there are no active tasks on this account. But this information would show you any updates that have been made or changes that have been made to your account. If you reset a password and it's in the last 90 days, you should see information on that here. You can also go to policy renewals, and here you would be able to see any policy that is renewing. Like I said, we have no renewals right now in this sample, so nothing is shown. You can also access your policy terminations by going to notification terminations, and it would show you notifications about recent terminations. And lastly, we have account activity. This shows all of the activity that has been happening on this account. For example, I have a sample policy task right here for a blank W-9. It was not removed, and it is listed here, so we can see that we had a task change. If I click on that and want to remove the notice from the activity log, just click on the check mark here, hit either mark red or delete. It'll permanently delete the message and it'll give you a warning. And if you hit yes, it clears it out from the activity log. All unread information will be logged right here as unread, and you can actually filter it. Let's say I wanted to view the notice right here. I could click on view, and I can see some general information about the notice from the policy information. Click on the client and I see, okay, there was an update to the example company. If I go to attachments and notes, I can see what was updated. And it looks like right in here, it had a attachment. I can see that by the little paper clip. And I can see the attachment listed right here. I can also click on it to download the attachment. And then I could either open it with my PDF viewer. In this instance, I could do Firefox or Microsoft Edge, which I'll click and hit OK. And once it loads up here, my computer's a little low. For some reason, it didn't want to open. Oh, there it is. Then I can see the file. And as you can see, this is just the 2023 commission run schedule. So that's where I would find any sort of updates under the attachment. I can also then filter this. So let's say I only wanted to see read messages. I could click on the filter, click on read, and now I can only see messages I've read. Or I could hit unread, and these are all the notifications and account changes that I have not addressed yet. I can also hit clear all if I wanted to go back and view everything. Each of these little areas that say enter under them are areas you can filter. So let's say I wanted to just find the commission run schedule that I have posted here, but I have a lot of other notices here and I'm not sure where to find it. I could just type commission, hit enter, and it would find anything posted that has commission in the subject, which commission run schedule is in the subject, so I'm able to find it here. Next, we have group and individual health benefits. These are separate tabs, but they function rather similarly. I'm going to walk through them each individually, though. First, you have quotes here, which is actually not that useful on our site. We quote through FormFire and through other systems. We actually covered a little bit of it in our last presentation last week, but this is where you would find any actual group quotes done through AGB, so it's not that useful of a tab. What's more useful, though, is my clients. If I click on My Clients under Group Benefits, I can see any group that I have listed here that is a client under me. If I hit View, then I can also view additional information about that group. For example, this sample company has a sample address and some general information. From there, I can actually see what policies the client has. So if I click on Policy, I can see they just have one specific policy here under the adjustment carrier. For an example, medical line of business, it's a group as indicated right here, and that's why it's showing up under Group Benefits. If I wanted more information about it, I could click on View. And then I can see all of the minor details about the policy. We actually linked here when I was going through accounts as well. So whenever you get a notification, you could get to that information directly from notices. Or if you're trying to find information about a specific group client, you can just go to Group Benefits, My Clients, and find that client in our system. As you can see, we have things like the pay frequency or what it should have listed here, as well as the department that it's posted under and the division. If this is a ARC referral, for example, then you would see the division posted as ARC. Then we can go into policy attachment notes, and we can see that statement that we saw earlier, that attachment that was just uploaded recently. As you can see, it uploaded on 3/29/2023. And then we can have policy tasks. Now, tasks are actually pretty useful, and you can request that information be shared this way from your Cornerstone representative. For instance, let's say you're communicating back and forth about a census, and you send in, but you don't want to take the chance of having the return information just out there online, and you don't want to have it sent over an unsecured email. There are a lot of fines for communicating insecurely, so that's probably a fair reason or a reasonable request. We can post that information under a task under the policy. If we hit select right here, then we can see all of the information we've uploaded to the policy task. And we create those here and we can make them viewable here. Like I said, all you gotta do is request it from the person you're communicating with here at Cornerstone. We'll be able to set one up for you. If I click on this PDF, these are all the viewable attachments under there. And we can also make notes on these attachments. So let's say I wanted to communicate something to you, like here's the W-9, please fill it out. I could link that right here in the task notes, and the next time you log into AGB, you could get access to this information. If you click the file, you can download it. I'm going to open it up with Firefox this time, just to be a little faster. As you can see, I have updated this file. From here, I could download it and save it. I would just hit the download button, and then I can save it locally. All of this information is available to you, so you'd be able to download anything that you've got available through this website, at least any attachments. After that, we can go directly to policies as well for group benefits. You just go to Group Benefits, My Policies, and you can see a full list of policies. Personally, I prefer to get there through My Clients. It's just a little cleaner. You don't see every little thing that you've got posted. And if you have a large enough agency, it can be a bit cumbersome to scroll by case, but you could do that. And as you can see, we have the group policy that I was just talking about listed here. Next up is Forms under Group Benefits, and this is actually a pretty useful tool. As you can see, we have AOR letter templates for Aetna, Allsavers, Emeritus, all of these group carriers that we contract with. And this is generally what we have uploaded here. We might also have some other appointment forms that we'll upload throughout this year, but we're looking to expand this section as well. So it's something you might be interested in looking into. The reason we're showing all appointments is we're in the Appointments tab. We hit on enrollments, we gain access to all of our enrollment labeled forms for groups. And we even have some marketing materials uploaded for each of these carriers as well. These marketing materials are mostly for Cornerstone resources. So it's things like how to set up your form fire, your employee benefits corporation overview, things of that nature. So these are useful tools and guides that we have listed for you that you might be able to access from marketing materials. And lastly, we have our miscellaneous forms. These are things that don't necessarily fit into other categories. For instance, an AOR form might not necessarily be a good appointment form, so we have some other miscellaneous information here. We also have the 2017 Delta Dental Standard Commission Run Schedule. That's actually one of the most recent ones for Delta Dental, so it should be up to date, but that is where you would get all of this information. Individual health is fairly similar, actually. We have a forms section here. If we click on forms, it operates just the same as the group forms. It's just for individual appointments and information. You can access your enrollments here, as well as marketing materials and summaries, brochures, and guides. Additionally, it has the My Policies tab, same as group, and My Clients tab, which is also the same as group. We didn't have any sample individual clients for you to view today, but it operates exactly the same way as group clients. There is no difference. You can also link directly to Health Sherpa from here. If you just click on the link under individual health, you can get directly to our Health Sherpa enrollment section. You can log in directly to Health Sherpa from here, from our Cornerstone site, or you can request access listed right here. It's our ACA enrollment platform, and it's really easy to use. I highly recommend it. Next up, we have our marketing and resources section. This is actually pretty useful. It updates events. It links you directly to our events page here on our Cornerstone website. And you can see all of the events that we have set up coming up. These are our webinars. As you can see, today's one is listed here mostly, but we also have things like our Cornerstone Q and Cafe that was on Monday the 3rd. So good things to keep in mind. We also have a link to our Meet the Team tab, but that was recently changed. If you click on that, this will be able to direct you to a direct contact page. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or need to reach out to someone directly, you can do that through our Contact Us page. Just send us an email right here. You can also link directly to our crnsona.com page for our agency services program. Find out more about that. As well as information from our carrier partners. Our commission schedules, which is actually old. We need to update that, so I wouldn't necessarily use this right now. The information is really from 2020, and we're working on getting a more complete brochure assembled for you right now. But you can access carrier bonus opportunities as well. This is pretty up to date, as well as our cash incentive program details, like I mentioned before. You can get to that from the link on the front, or you can check out our marketing and material resources section here. And last but not least, you can access our marketing hub directly. Our marketing hub is the same thing as our resource center. So it is information for Cornerstone specific marketing and all of the materials that you get directly by being a Cornerstone agent. You can register to be a new user of this marketing hub today by going to AGB, trying to access it, and then clicking on the click here to register as a new user section. As I said, you can access the Cash Incentive Hub, carrier bonuses, carrier partners, and agency services information pages, all directly from AGB under marketing resources. Now, the last section here is log out, but before we click that, let's go ahead and cover user management, which as a tech head is my favorite part of AGB. This allows you to grant access to other people in your organization to AGB, but maybe you want to restrict that access. Maybe you want to give them the ability to view some clients, maybe help manage your block, but you don't really want them having access to all of your payment information and commissions. You can actually set that up here. All you have to do is hit Add Broker User under My Account. Now you also have child broker management, which I will get to next, but it's actually used in conjunction with this. If I hit add broker user, it takes me to this setup page, which is actually the exact same page, it's just a little further down. If you'll recall, under settings, we had automatically scroll down to view updated information. That is the setting that we had enabled for this. We can set them up with a username. For example, test1. And we can then enter their details. This is Tom Levine's test account. So we're going to list that. And while I do this, I am going to write down these credentials so I can show you the difference in logins. We have to set an email to enable everything for this. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up. It's going to be my personal email, which is tlevine@crnstone.com. And then I'm going to add a description of this account. This is really for my own personal management use. So I'm going to say this is a sample. Then I'm going to go to user menu access. And this is actually where we control all of the sections of AGB they have the ability to view. For example, that what I listed, I want them to be able to, manage individual and group information, but I don't really want them to access marketing information for Cornerstone. And I want them to also be able to not view any of my personal payment information. So I'm going to declick that and deselect it. Just review real quick, make sure that they only have access to what I want them to have access to. And then I'm going to hit save. It'll say this record has been saved. And if I check over here, I see that now we have this web user created. Now, when the person logs in, as you saw, we didn't actually set a password for them or anything. They just have to reset their password. Because we put in their email, it will automatically send them a notice, hey, we need you to reset your password, and then they'll be able to actually set one up. Let's go ahead and log out. I'm also going to open up my personal email. I'll have that viewable up on the other side, but I'll show you kind of what that looks like here in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in as that test account. We created its username as test01, but right now we're just going to hit forgot your password. I'm going to enter the username for the new account I created, which is TEST01, and I'm going to enter the email address that I provided for that account. That would be my personal email, which is tlevine@crnstone.com, and hit submit request. It'll say the password request change has been sent, and I'll hit return to login. This is also how you would reset your personal email account for AGB. I can double click on my email to open it, and it looks a little something like this. It'll be from no reply@crnstone.com, and it'll say something in the subject line like, this email was sent to you because a password change request was made. If I click on that reset link, it'll ask me how I want to open it. I want to open it in Firefox. Then it will direct me to this area where the new user that I just created can enter a password. I'm going to just use a very simple password, which I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to actually drag this off screen for a moment while I enter it. Okay. And I've updated that. Unfortunately, it did not pass validation, so I'm going to enter a new one. close, and I can just re-update that now. And my password has been changed. So I'm going to go ahead and log back into it on this side. EST01 is the username, and I'm going to enter my password and hit login. Actually save this information in my browser. But as you can see now, the agency sample account that we just created can log in. They can access the My Account information, notifications, group benefits, and individual health information, and they can log out. We restricted their access. If I hit on commission payments, no payments list. I know that's not really a great test because we didn't have any payment information to begin with, but they will not be able to see any of the payment information that we secured because we did not give them financials access. If I go to carrier appointments, it'll link it up here. Check broker appointments, they can see all of the appointment information that we made them able to see. If I go to broker attachment notes, you can see all of that information listed here. I'm going to go ahead and log out of this sample account after I do one more thing. As you can see, if I hover over here, they can access their own settings and update it, but they don't actually have the ability to edit any of their account information. In order to do that, you would have to log into the parent account, which is the one that actually controls the agency, or if it's just you as an individual shop, that would be your login. If I could then go to Child Broker Management under the parent account, you can see that they have this sample broker here, Child Broker Records. This is the individual broker, but not the actual account that we've created. Go to User Management, it'll load up, and I can see that this sample user was here. If I click on their information, then I can just see the record that we created for them, the permissions that we've set up for them to actually use. And then if I wanted to remove them, I could select them and hit delete records. It'll permanently remove the account. And their account has now been completely removed from our system. So if you have an employee that you needed to give access to information and then they get let go, you can just remove their access directly from here. And to show you that one last time, I'm going to log out and try to log in using that same sample that we just created. As you can see, it says the login is invalid, so they can no longer access this. So that's kind of a general overview of AGB. It should kind of give you an idea of what we're capable of doing here, as well as a maybe more secure way to share your files with us and to have us send information back to you. That way we can avoid things like email, which can be hacked into, and we can avoid some mess, as well as giving you direct access to all of your client information. I think it's a pretty nifty portal, and if you'd like us to make more use of it, please let us know. We're always happy to. But once again, that has been Tech Tuesday. My name is Tom Levine. I'm going to put up my contact information again here on the screen, and I hope you learned something and found this a little bit informative. I hope you had a great day. Thank you.